Hi there, friends. Let's just get right into it. Plain and simple, I got cocky. You would think after 30 plus years of having Crohn's disease that I would have this completely under control. But Thanksgiving came and I kind of ate with a reckless abandon and it didn't turn out so great. So let's talk about how we eat and how tough it is to stay on those diets. I love food, and I'm sure a lot of you love food too. And sometimes things really bother me when I'm in a Crohn's flare, and sometimes things don't bother me at all. Like I do really well if it's liquidy and flows through very nicely. So over Thanksgiving, my husband and I decided to take a little vacation. And we went out to Cheyenne to see some family. And then we went on into Laramie for a few days. And it was just lovely to see that community and drive around. And we went by the university there. So go Cowboys. Everybody was talking about the retiring of the jersey with, I think it was Josh was his name. I don't know. Anyway, there was a football player that went pro that had his jersey retired. So that was pretty exciting for that community. We ate at a couple of local restaurants, and they had both actually been on diners, drive-ins, and dives a couple years ago. The one was called Sweet Melissa's, and it was like a vegetarian, vegan sort of place, which is completely out of our realm or in our normal way of eating. But we wanted to give it a try, and you guys, it was freaking amazing. Everything we had was absolutely wonderful. So if you're ever out in Laramie, give them a try. So come full circle back to Thanksgiving Day, and I made the big spread that everybody loved, all of the things, the potatoes and gravy, the ham, the turkey, the stuffing with the giblets. Gotta have the giblets in there. We had the sweet potatoes. Of course, you have to have the marshmallows on those. Traditional green bean casserole, pumpkin pie, cookies, just all this stuff. And I ate too much of all the things I shouldn't have been eating. And fast forward a couple of more days, and my body just started saying, "Nope, you shouldn't have done it. You were way too cocky, girlfriend, because you are not ready for that kind of food intake yet." So I am back here today working on something that should be good for my body. I did use the turkey carcass and boiled down and made some really great turkey stock. And so I have been drinking just plain turkey stock for the last couple of days. And this morning I did have a couple of eggs. Those went over really well. So what I'm doing right now is I'm dicing up some onion. I'm going to put it in my stock pot over there. And then I have this from my freezer. And this is a bag of the discard from juicing carrots. Because for a while I was drinking just 100% juice just to get some nutrition and nutrients in. But I saved the pulp per se to maybe repurpose it into crackers or something like that for the rest of my family. But so what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to cook this off with some onion and some seasoning, and I'm going to blend it. So it might be disgusting, it might be great. So we're going to find out together here. So onions are going in the pot, and then we're going to get this all in and get it stirred up. So So I added a bunch of minced garlic into the pot as well, because I want to go a little bit of an Asian flair here. I used to really not like ginger at all, but these days I really gravitate towards it. I'm not for sure if it's just because I know it's really good for me or if I just love it that much. For my fat, I'm going to use a little bit of sesame oil along with a little bit of butter. And then for a little bit of acid, a little bit of the rice wine vinegar. Seasonings are going to be some of my all-time favorites. Of course, a little bit of salt, a little fresh ground black pepper, tiny little bit of Italian seasoning, and a few red pepper flakes. Okay, the onions have a nice sweat going. That looks pretty good. Now it's time to add my bag of carrot pulp. Now I'm basically going to cover the carrots with some filtered water. And we're going to let it simmer away. So we'll meet you back here in probably 30 to 40 minutes. We've been simmering for about 20 minutes here. I'm going to say that everything is cooked at this point. We'll give it a little taste, see where we're at on seasoning, and then we will head to the blender. All right, she's all nice and cooled. Well, not really, but at least it's not boiling anymore. So, pretty cool. We're going to ladle it into our blender here and give it a whirl. See what happens. All right, we're going to take this off the blender. Open it up and give it a little taste. Whew, that is hot. Steamy up. The consistency is lovely. It's definitely blended. Very carrot. This is going to do quite well. So this still allows me to have the fiber, but it's broken down, obviously, quite a bit. And I get some tremendous flavors with all the seasonings we put in there. That's really good. So now we will put this into some containers, blend up the rest of the batch, and have some for dinner and call it a night. So thanks for joining me today. I hope your Crohn's journey is going well. I would love to hear some of the recipes you make. As you know, I pretty much cook off the cuff. I don't follow a lot of recipes per se, but this one was really good. I really like the repurposing of the carrot from drinking the juice a few weeks ago to still utilizing the pulp that came out of the juicer. So thanks so much for joining me today. You all take care. Bye-bye.